A recent poll from the Wall Street Journal has found American citizens feel better about former President Trump's record than the current President Biden. Joining us live now is Curtin University's Dean of Global Future. It is Father Christmas with that beard. It's going very well, Joe Siracusa. Good to see you, by the way. So what do you put this poll down to?
Good morning, Pete. Well, look, 1 in 5 Americans think they were better off with President Trump than with President Biden. That's true. They're having trouble putting groceries in their carts, paying their mortgages and their rents. Americans are just having a worse time. And there's Donald Trump with his 60% rating, and there's President Biden who's going down the tube. There are no more Democrats who are going to walk on fire for this guy. He's lost the left wing of the party. He's lost a lot of the Black and Latino votes. He's in bed with all the wrong people. That is, he has no control over the war in Gaza, even though he thinks he does, etc. And he's just simply sort of lost the plot, and he knows he's finished. He knows his son is finished too. I mean, he's going to have a very bad ending, and of course he has no way of getting out of this because majority of the American people, Democrat and Republican, don't want to see him run anyway. So, I mean, Donald Trump is perfectly poised to position to win the next election. And yes, he's going to deal with President Putin and Chairman Kim, and he'll be very strong for Israel and the rest of it. So, we go back to that old formula, Pete. Trump's critics, they take him literally, but not seriously, whereas his supporters take him seriously, but not literally. He's having a little bit of fun.
So just looking at his campaign speech on the weekend is really going the red meat at the moment. I'm talking about former President Donald Trump here, pushing that anti-immigrant rhetoric on the campaign trail. And he's taken aim at the immigrants coming to the US, Joe, by saying they're poisoning the blood of our country. They poison mental institutions and prisons all over the world, not just in South America, but all over the world. That's what Donald Trump said of immigrants. I mean, how likely is that to resonate with disaffected voters?
Not really. Americans, that is Native Americans who've been there a while, have always had a grudge against the immigrants. It was the Irish and the Germans in the 19th century, and then it was the Yiddish from Ukraine later on, and other people. I mean, Americans have always been anti-immigration, but in this case, they have a good reason. There are 10,000 people a day coming through the gate. No one knows what to do with them. And Pete, no one knows who they are. I mean, these guys could be anywhere. It turns out they're from Kurdistan and they're from Russia and China. I mean, that ain't Central and South America anymore. I mean, that is really strange places. So being anti-immigration doesn't exactly not resonate with the American people. America's got 327 million people. It's got it's a big place. It's room for a lot of people, but it has to be in an orderly fashion. And
Sure.
Pete, Americans are like Australians. They don't like queue jumpers. I mean, what is more irritating than that?
Joe Siracusa, it is good to talk to you. I hope you have a great Christmas and a great New Year. I'll talk to you next year, my friend.
Okay, you too, Pete.